so I do what I can within the local community, as well as the Muslim community specifically, to serve those needs. Now, we all love Memphis, but we also love to joke about its dismal statistics concerning crime, education, poverty, obesity, and a variety of other problems. But as Muslim women, these problems actually serve as a motivation for us to serve our Creator through serving others. There are many opportunities here within our local community to help those in need and address these problems. Now, when the organizers asked I participate in this panel, Sister Brenda specifically, I tried many times to get out of participating in this panel. And she might have wondered why. And it was really because I was being asked to share my story and talk about my experiences. And there's nothing more that I hate than talking about myself. So this is my story, and I know that there are many people in our community that currently are, and everyone can help others through their respective fields. And I believe their stories are far more interesting than my story. But we do have to expect struggles and setbacks in whatever path we choose to take. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses those who struggle and strive in His path, and Shaitan always likes to create doubts and obstacles in those paths. The minute that we consider a setback a loss, we failed. I believe that we should always take our setbacks and our challenges as ways to make us stronger and more successful. We should never be afraid to try. As is often said, you only make the shots you take. In this context, the words of one individual who is neither a female nor a Muslim come to mind. He says, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game-winning shot, and I've missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. These were spoken by none other than Michael Jordan, and yes, I love basketball. Now I can take questions after this session, but I don't want to take any more time away from our esteemed panelists. MashaAllah, these sisters are not from our community, but we feel like we know them because we hear so much about them, and I personally have been waiting quite a while to hear from them in person. So please help me in welcoming them to our panel.
Thank you very much, Suresh. Our next panelist is Nicole Rashid. Nicole Rashid was born in Mississippi, the daughter of sharecroppers. Nicole Rashid grew up in the America of segregation and racial oppression, and has been a lifelong advocate of the idea of the oneness of Creator and humanity, social and economic justice, and racial harmony. After earning degrees in economics and public policy at Tougaloo College and Jackson State University, respectively, she has had a varied career. A community development activist, organizer, and historical preservation advocate, much of Rashid's work has been in project administration with a focus on community development projects, including historic preservation, working primarily with inner-city communities and grassroots organizations. Rashid's experience as an educator began almost by accident and produced an amazing outcome. Who would imagine that the first International Museum of Muslim Cultures in the United States would be found in Jackson, Mississippi? The fact is the result of Rashid's vision, a vision that comprises activism and an inclusive worldview where human dignity and individual worth are central values. In 2000, Rashid had what she describes as an activist moment when she saw a TV promotional program for an exhibit on Spain to be hosted by the Mississippi International Cultural Exchange Commission. As she watched, she noticed the utter absence of any reference to Islam and its contribution to Spanish culture, igniting Europe's Renaissance. Thus, Rashid, working along with her husband and their partner, decided that they would organize an exhibition that would allow visitors to learn the full scope of Spanish history and the ushering in of Europe's Renaissance, not by producing a counter exhibit, but rather by providing a companion exhibition and experience for museum goers. Within 5 months, Rashid, along with co-partners, drawing upon her background in community organizing, opened the Islamic Moorish Spain exhibition on April 15, 2001. It was visited by nearly 25,000 people during its first 6 months. The exhibit was scheduled to close initially October 31st, 2001, but then after the 9/11 tragedy, Jackson political, educational, and community leaders, including Christian ministers, were instrumental in keeping the exhibit open permanently. The museum's mission statement reflects Rashid's goals of using education to promote tolerance and understanding, even in the most difficult times. It asserts that through its work, the museum strives to facilitate multicultural and interfaith tolerance, reducing religious and racial bigotry, and advancing religious and civic dialogue. Moving in the concentric circles of the local, the national, and the global, Okola Rashid has used the lessons of her education and her experience to create a most unexpected, much-needed center of learning for Americans of all cultures. Sister Okola Rashid.
With the Lord's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, I greet you in the greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I'm so glad that she didn't read all of that. I really am very humbled to be here. I want to acknowledge this young sister, her work, your commitment to the community is very inspiring for people of my age. We are looking for young people like yourself to take that kind of commitment. So may Allah continue to bless you.